3. I was saying my grandfather came back from a dealership with a little Datsun. Um, and it was weird how they, relayed the information, but it wasn't like, hey, we found like your picture, and like when I looked for the picture, I couldn't find it. It was taken from my house. Somebody's, confessing to that. It was stolen and manufactured by someone overseas, and that was stolen. Done during the same, right around the same time. If it wasn't automotives, it was again finance. I thought about mutual funds, and how those could have been packaged. My statistics or algebra 2 coursework was taken by Pamela Toll. She said she took that and developed something with Triola, and which I don't know if that in fact is true. I don't even know if statistics was actually a science or math. Um, Let me think. It wasn't, based upon the metric system. I really don't know. So I had to do some research. I did not hear about it being a math from the Greeks or the Africans. And so as a result, they're telling me that they have been using my thoughts and what I thought from news commentary and products and things that I thought about even when I was in school, and how I problem solved, and Pamela Toll has been eavesdropping and using technology to do so. And again, a former DoD contractor let me know that I had been experiencing issues with difficult people, and he wanted to know how I dealt with them. And then he also demonstrated the fact that he was able to eavesdrop on my conversations as well, or knew exactly what I thought when I thought it. He did that 3 times. Um, my children did it once, and Harry Windsor and Meghan Markle have continued to have done this since their early childhood, and they can go back uh, based upon what they have been reading something. So it seems like something they're reciting. It's not clairvoyance. Um, Richard Ellis told the Department or Defense Logistics Agency that they would be working on clairvoyance, but it's not. Um, and as a result, they're reciting certain things that they want to say that it is clairvoyance, and but it's based upon documentation and notes that they've been taking. Rhyme said she's been taking notes as well since 1995, but I think it probably goes back longer than that. So I'm fighting not only for you know as at some point the information does belong to me, and yeah, I do get it that there's certain people that are being eavesdropped upon, but these people don't stop, and I'm not, you know, I push back because they've been trying to kill me. They've caused problems for my children and my daughter. My daughter's father rapes her, and that's all at the behest of Richard Ellis, who knows his mom, who worked for the Navy, and he either was her boss at some point. He's raped her, and as a result of that culture, my daughter's father, James Cuneo, who's a former Marine, who says he's entered my apartment unannounced and has raped me too. Um, either um, in a cryogenics form, or either by using the key, which he said he had used the key to enter my apartment in Oklahoma as well as in Royersford. Um, um, what else was he saying? Richard Ellis is all over the place, and the theme that he seems to use is men who stalk children. He says that um, he sent Bill Rostick, who is, the person that I was having that conversation about, the film ideal or story ideal. He sent Bill Rostick to my daughter's daycare to rape her. And then when I met Bill Rossick in 2010, he asked me 13 times if he could pick up my child from daycare. But, for whatever reason, did not run from him. I decided to stick with him because I thought that, maybe he was just being nice. But, as all these elements unfold, he's even a part of this. Um, and, confesses to different things that he has been involved in with the Defense Logistics Agency. Um, he even confessed, that he thought that when I talked to him, that his paranoia or, paranoia kind of said, asked me if I thought he was, taking my information and fact checking or to give it to someone else. Um, when he asked me that and he let me know that he had been also colluding with these people. Um, and so I've only had 3 serious relationships, and all 3 men have something to do with Richard Ellis. And all 3 men were in the military from what has been communicated. 2 of them are Marines, and the most problems I'm having is from the Department of the Navy, which the Marines was a subcomponent of the Navy for many years, and so I'm having problems with a Navy or several Marine Corps individuals who do different things to attack me, and um, James Cuneo uses a lot of spiritual things, but he also tells me things that you know he insists on that has been true 2 years prior to me going to the police or the authorities about it. And I kind of brushed that off because I thought these people were, kind of, what? I, Pamela, told me that this process would be one in which that would get under my skin to cause me to lose my intelligence as well as to toughen up or not wear my heart on my sleeve. And as a result, like I was saying, James Cuneo, his confessions went back for 2 years, and he keeps saying that it's true. When I call him to confront the issue, he never talks to me, um, and he never addresses it or denies anything that he says. So I've had it, and I take the information that he has given me, which he is telling me that he's done things against his daughter since she was conceived in 2003. Uh, that has caused me to be very concerned because of all of the information that has come back recently that my daughter is or has been subdued in a similar way that I was when I was in the Army. Um, that I have not have had any evidence about, but the inventions for me, as well as the strands of cancer that I did have, uh, kind of give me clues that something did happen to me. Um, Richard, I thought he was a nice person. I thought that he would want to mentor me, um, but he has not been doing that. And he forces this information upon me. I begged him to stop. There was a lot of things I could not do anything about. I begged for my life. I was shot and beat up when I was in the hospital. And they defamed me and um, for the lack of understanding, of a better term, and I hate to use the word mock, but they shame me, so badly using this eavesdropping technology that at some point people even in the store, you know, were able to talk, or converse with me using this technology. And now since that they've altered my body, that doesn't even happen. And James Radcliffe, he's a podiatrist from San Jose, California, who, he's telling me certain things, but no one's doing anything to stop them. And so, based upon what I'm forced to know, they continue to compromise me, like I said before in the other video, based upon the level of exposure. They expose me to so many different elements of national security violations, um, that they fail to keep me safe. They could have just left me alone. I would be safe on my own. I felt that if I got, you know, um, when I didn't have the ability to hear them, and which I'm kind of like to the point where I am anxious and afraid and paranoid, and I don't, want to be with other people. Um, I, I want to protect myself. I think they were trying to harm me. And when I went to the person who told me, not to do certain things, I didn't get to that point in the other video, but when went to the person who told me exactly what not to do, and then I was tortured anyway in the hospital, I was like saying, but I did everything you told me to do. Why would I be tortured if I did what I was told? And I guess what I was telling her was that I was submitting myself. I also was letting her know that I was interested in coming back to the federal government to save my life, because I thought I was exposed. I did apply for federal employment 3 times, and every time each of those announcements have been rejected, and they stated that I did not have the requisite qualifications to work for the federal government. And so I can't go back to the federal government. They won't protect me. And then I can't even have the district attorney or the Office of Special Counsel to stop these people from doing what they do. And the government cannot operate as a cult. Um, I don't know if if they deem it successful. I know that me and other people, to include mostly children, um, or the people who are talking to me and telling me these things, that they've targeted so many children, um, and they've caused so many problems. And my daughter's father was one of the children, as well as myself. Harry Windsor is another. And, just to kind of dovetail on what I let, YouTube know, was that Harry, if he stood up for what was right, I think America would follow and get rid of these cults. He certainly has made a lot of money off of me. He's stolen my coursework and has sold almost 50 odd papers to other governments, which, I have to fight that in court, but he hacks me so badly that I don't even know if I can trust anyone analyzing my hard drives to determine, that theft. But he definitely has made a lot of money over the years and has done that since he was a child. And if he could, ask for clemency, to help, to stabilize what's been going on, then this form of sex trafficking, human trafficking, Nuremberg violations, unethical research, and other forms of espionage that has been formed against a select few can stop. Um, I do recall thinking that in 2018 that he probably could have been a good public relations, what did you say, guide or public relations person, based upon the fact that every time I thought about a research ideal, uh, there was always a clap back on ABC News that he was undergoing research for the Jewel, research for what's that game my daughter was playing? Something called Fortnite, and the addition to YMCA in England. I asked, I thought that, certainly that the YMCA would be something that England could possibly want to incorporate in their charities. And then not longer than a few months after, I think it was like March or April, they rolled out 14 different facilities in England, and he was the sponsor for that, and under the patronage for I don't know, I can't remember what that was. Maybe health and fitness. Um, and so there are other things. I remember. He's been on board with a couple things, but this was before I knew who he was. And so basically, I'm thinking that if he did part from these people and used his title for good, and asked for a pardon because they're not going to arrest him and they're not going to arrest Ellis, then maybe that if he told his story, let me take that back. If he's wrong for what he's done, and I actually publicly let Harry know I think they are deployable for what they did to him, and then later for what they have done and are doing to me, he goes along. They got him along with him, but he also can vacate that and stop something called escalation of commitment and stop doing what he's doing because he's spending millions of dollars to do it. Um, so I'll close. I just, in the other couple of videos about what's going on with Harry and Meghan, I want to let everyone know that I think the Department of Defense or the Defense Logistics Agency is wrong for what they're doing. Richard said he got involved to disrupt and corrupt my life, and as a result, he's disrupted and corrupted Harry's life. He's got him involved in so many different things that had Richard never used his position in the Navy and the Defense Logistics Agency, Harry would never had been associated with Richard Ellis. Richard had to have used extortion as well as collusion and um, espionage to get the trust of England to allow Harry to be involved since an early age. And I believe with what Richard was doing has caused a great deal of corruption in America, uh, which include extortion for other acts that Pamela Toll has used, to strong arm so many of my family members to turn a blind eye to what is going on. And I think, I talk this out and it seems to be, a lot of different loose ends, all of which I tweeted on Twitter since July to get Harry to come out publicly to say, look, woman, I'm not doing this, or I am doing it, and I don't want to be a part of this anymore. But when I go on Twitter, he's not letting me know that I got the wrong person. I mean, he did let me know that in so many ways, but he does not come out and say, well, why are you tweeting me like this? Yeah, he did report me to Twitter, but at the end of the day, he has not tweeted back to me and asked me, well, why are you tweeting this about me? Or why are you tweeting this about this instance? Or I deny that happened, or I deny the fact that I've been raped happened, and he's not. Um, but I do certainly sympathize with him, and I hope, and I actually welcome him to tell the story so he can stop what's going on in America. And if he loved America as much as I do, and has been given honorary titles as a military service member, um, that he knows what being a uniformed person is about, as well as what integrity and loyalty is. And I hope that at some point that he continues to contemplate trying to stop what's going on, because it's just not right for the world. And for me personally, uh, the touch points um, have involved so many different areas that this has a potential to be a form of civil war if it's not dealt with properly. So I'm going to end there. And, maybe next time I'll be feeling better and I can get my tech right. I think they've changed so many different things, or this phone doesn't, the camera isn't right, or I haven't adjusted it. It's a new phone. Um, I don't look right. I don't know. To me, I'm okay. I look all right, but the lighting was so much different on the other phone that I had. Um, it's 50-50. A part of this is, based on what they deem as Illuminati, but it's this most, the suckiest form of Illuminati because it has been based upon corruption when the original form of Illuminati was not. And that was a part of the Renaissance period with which scholars and clerics wanted to enlighten the world, and they were using the Word of God to do it. And the form of Illuminati that the government uses is a form of capitalism, um, extortion, collusion, and trafficking as well. So I hope to talk to you soon. Thank you for checking me out on YouTube. If you like all my videos, like, subscribe, refer your friends to them. Um, hit me up on Twitter under the same name. And, I'd like to network and, possibly talk to other people to stop people from doing this. I'm going to add one more thing. The problem with Caucasian Americans, they are using uh, the spectrum of light skin, dark skin to compare other people, successful or not, to make them feel less than or to reduce their self worth, to cause them to collude and corrupt, extort, rape, sodomize, and all those things to give them um, a false sense of power, which has corrupted America for such a long time. And I'm so sick of hearing, this thing about light skin, dark skin. That's probably why I mentioned the fact that I don't look, my complexion looks different. But it's probably on me for right now, based upon how I have the camera set up. But Meghan Markle and Pamela Toll, uh, they use certain ideology that light skin, dark skin means as much as it does, and for me personally, it never has meant that. They've influenced Harry to think the same thing. Publicly, not said anything about it, but maybe privately he has, and that just it doesn't seem right. Doesn't seem like it's something that he had been subject to doing or subjected to doing. Um, and only just recently that's something that has been communicated um, subconsciously to, cause a division even for him. But he does say he, along with them, he discriminates, and so there are a lot of different factors that needs to be to be addressed. But I don't really know if he can get there alone. And so that's why I reach out to fellow Americans, as of last week. Um, I need you. And I need, other people to kind of help address the issue because I can't do this by myself. I can't even get my daughter a doctor's appointment. I'm afraid to go to the hospital. I really am, to get any help for the problems that they've caused me since they told me never to return back to a hospital. Like I said, I can't get my daughter um, the counseling and therapy that she needs. Um, she feels like there's a lot of problems and she blames all of them on me, but she also hasn't addressed some of the issues that her father has expressed, and nor does he try to help me deal with them. And so his negation to help um, shows me that there is a correlation between what he says and what she's going through. And the longer he does not address these things, it shows me that I'm not barking up the wrong tree. They just all have abandoned me. And they've done this all in the name of capitalism. And they did this making so much money and stealing things from me. That is called evil. Oh, and the thing that Jane said, she said, don't worry about money. I might be ending here. So don't worry about money, but I never have. And in so saying that, these people worry about money a lot and are money grubbing and greedy. And that greed has caused a lot of problems for me and my children uh, that should never had. There's no correlation between my greed in relationship to theirs. Like, subscribe, send it to your friends, work with others, try to get this stuff resolved. Reach out to the NAACP, the Tribune, not Tribune, excuse me, the Urban League, um, special victims units in your towns. If you experience the feeling or sensation that you are feeling pressure in your lower quadrant, or you're feeling like something's entering your rectum, the Department of Justice does have articles on a man who actually won in court money damages for being raped by a doctor after he was a veteran that went in for services in the veteran hospital. So this does happen. What else? If you feel like you feel the presence of something that you're sitting on 9 times out of